Now, when we take a cigar, a premium cigar,
Yes, sir.
handmade cigar,
Yes, sir.
it's got various components. Why don't you show us how one of these things is made by taking it apart?
Well, the cigar is composed of three elements: the wrapper, which is the outer leaf that we look at, and inside there's a combination of a binder leaf that holds together the filler leaves. And the two of them combined make what we call the bunch. The bunch is then pressed to take away irregularities to make a cylinder that's smooth. So when we put the wrapper on, there are no irregularities shown on the cigar. So
Let's take it apart.
we take the wrapper and we just simply take the wrapper. All right, so this is the wrapper leaf that goes into the cigar. And you can see from the width of the cigar wrapper leaf that it has a good overlap. Good overlap is important because it will hold the cigar together and will not allow the wrapper to explode. If the overlap is very thin, when the heat reaches the thinness of that overlap, the cigar may explode on you. So this wrapper has a very good size, and the overlap looks very good.
This leaf appears to be almost like silk. It's so fine.
Yes, wrapper leaves are grown precisely for that, because we don't want thicker veins showing. We don't want to have anything that interrupts the smoothness of the wrapper. The wrapper is important because it's the first thing that we see in a cigar. It's what draws our attention to the cigar. We cannot take away the labels and the bands because they also are attractive. But when we get to the cigar, the wrapper is the first thing we see. A shiny wrapper, an even wrapper, a nice colored wrapper immediately draws attention and makes you want to pick that cigar up.
Correct.
So wrapper leaf has to be very carefully taken care of in the fields, in fermentation, and in packing, and also in the factory, because we cannot have holes, we cannot have breakages, we cannot have wrapper that is not well rolled in a cigar, because if it isn't stretched, it will wrinkle. So all these things have to be taken into consideration when putting wrapper on, and the wrapper leaf, again, needs to be as smooth as we can get it, so there are no objections to the whole view of the cigar.
How much more money does the wrapper leaf cost in relationship to the totality of the cost of the raw material here?
Well, binders and fillers usually are in the neighborhood of $6 to $7 a pound. Wrappers, top of the line wrappers, usually do not even begin below $20 a pound. So at least 3 times for the starting point of wrappers in the market.
Okay. Now let's go to the next
Now,
level.
The next level is the bunch. And the bunch consists of the binder leaf that is holding, let me take the cap off here because that we no longer need it. The binder now is holding the filler leaves, and between the two of them they make the bunch. As you can see, after we press the bunch, it is a smooth cylinder. It doesn't have irregularity, so when you put the wrapper on, it looks silky, smooth, attractive. So this is also very important. The pressing is also very important. Now,
What percentage of the flavor comes through with the wrapper?
Charles, there are 2 schools of thought on this. One is that if you make one of the elements of the cigar the lead, whether it be the wrapper or the binder or the fillers, you get the benefit of all the greatness of that particular tobacco. And the cigar will be led by that particular element, be it the wrapper, be it the binder, be it the filler. I belong to the school that says when we smoke a cigar, we're not smoking the wrapper first, the binder second, and the filler third. We're smoking all 3 in unison, and all 3 are burning together, coming at your palate. So what we try to do when we blend is to make the three work together to create a unique combination of flavors. If we would take this bunch and put a different wrapper on than the one that had originally, we would change completely the taste of the cigar because it wasn't blended for that particular wrapper. So I belong to the school that thinks that it's a combination of all three, because that way all the best elements of the three work together and create a much wider array of sensations and possibilities of taste in the palate. And here's a binder. Now, if you look at the binder leaf, you will notice that the binder is a little rougher than the wrapper. It's not as silky as the wrapper is. The vein structure is a little more pronounced in the binder. And that we don't really care because that goes in the inside of the cigar, and once we press, we take away that. So the binder leaf doesn't have to be as pretty or as well taken care of as the wrapper leaves. And then the filler, which are the leaves, the whole leaves that are taken and blended in the hand and made into the bunch by rolling them into the binder. And you will have, and you can immediately see that there's a ligero here, there's secos here, so there is a blend of different primings that will make the blend, the filler blend, that together with the binder and together with the wrapper will create the cigar blend. So basically this is what a handmade cigar should and does look like.
Excellent. So the major difference between a handmade long filler cigar is that all leaves are long leaf.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How many leaves would go into the filler typically?
On a 50 ring gauge, for example, 4 or 5 leaves will go in, depending again if they're more of the higher primings or the lower primings. Lower primings are thinner, so you may have more than 4, 4.5, 5. If there are more of the higher leaves, you may have 4, 3.5, 4.5. So again, depending on how many primings you're blending, the number of leaves will vary in the ring gauge.